we are going to simplify infinite banking in this video. So the idea of infinite banking, bank on yourself, really revolves around utilizing a whole life insurance policy designed for high cash value and using the policy as a financing tool. Really, it enables one to take control of their finances, really become the bank instead of having to rely on third-party lenders, banks, and other institutions. Let's demonstrate. For example, if we own a piece of property, real estate is the best example to start off with demonstrating how this concept works because many of us are familiar with real estate. If you own a piece of property that is appreciating at 5% every single year like clockwork, regardless of what happens in the stock market, the real estate market, the economy, your property goes up by 5% every single year. It's a perfect world. Now, if you own that home free and clear, would you continue to receive that 5% appreciation? Of course. If you have a mortgage or perhaps a line of credit outstanding against the property, would you continue to yield that 5% appreciation on the entire home value or just the remaining equity? The entire home value. That's one of the advantages to real estate. So for example, if I have a home that appraises at $100,000 and I decide to borrow out $50,000, let's say I have a line of credit, I pull 50 grand against the equity that is, 3% we'll assume is the interest rate. Where does that go? To the lender, to the institution. Terms are set by who? The bank or the lender. So many people, you're likely familiar with real estate, many people are familiar with that strategy. How does that relate to a whole life insurance policy? Very similar. So once a dollar passes through the cash value of a life insurance policy, regardless if I just let that dollar sit and grow, or if I decide to borrow against it, if I take money out, if I pull against the equity, like in real estate, I continue to earn interest on my entire asset, not just the remaining cash value. So if I have a dividend rate of 5%, I have cash value of $100,000, I elect to borrow out $50,000, just like the real estate example. What happens? I continue to earn that 5% dividend on the entire $100,000. Now there is loan interest, 5% in this example, that goes to the insurance company. The cost to borrow, that loan interest expense, does not come back to us. That does go to the insurance company. However, they continue to pay you dividends and the guaranteed rate on your entire cash value, the full $100,000, as if you never touched it in the first place. Again, no lost opportunity cost. Keep on moving forward. Now, capitalizing a policy is one of the most important things because what we're doing with a cash value life insurance policy is taking the ability to finance business decisions, real estate, pay off debt. We have control of that now. So cash value in a life insurance policy becomes your source of capital. If you want to invest in real estate, instead of going to a bank and borrowing from them, now all of a sudden, once you've capitalized a policy, you've got this bucket of money that you can now access. And it enables one to cut out third-party lenders. So hence the phrase, become your own bank. You can take control of your finances. Here's the most important thing. We're going to look at an example on this very soon. The most important thing, in my opinion, with a policy is to first and foremost maximize the cash value of a life insurance policy. If you get this piece down, regardless if you just pay money into a life insurance policy to grow the cash value over time, or if you elect to use it to borrow and repay and practice this concept, if you max out the cash value first, what's that going to do? It's going to give you more money from start to finish, both on the guaranteed values and also based off the company's present dividend scale. So, maximizing the cash value and flexibility first. A whole life insurance policy at its core is a safe, liquid, tax-free area to position money. Tax-free if we do not trigger a modified endowment contract or anything else that would trigger a taxable event. And then we have a unique loan feature, which ties directly into the idea of the banking concept, in the sense that once a dollar passes through a policy, regardless if I just let it sit and grow, or if I decide to loan it out, I continue to earn dividends on everything. No lost opportunity cost. Pretty neat. Maximize the policy. If you maximize the cash value up front, we've got more cash value up front, more cash value long term. Again, emphasizing the guarantees more than anything else there. Access or not, you've got more money. Meaning if your plan, if you have a desire to access your money or just let it sit and grow, you've got more money to work with. And that gives you more capital at the end of the day. Corporations and wealthy individuals, people that don't always utilize the cash value, they position it there, they grow it, they do use it for larger scale opportunities, but really what they put emphasis on with cash value life insurance, whether it's a corporate owned product or if it's traditional policies that you and I can obtain on their executives, they are optimizing the cash value first and foremost, looking at the guarantees. They put a lot of value on the death benefit long term as well, but main thing here is maximizing the cash value. What it is at its core is a fixed asset that will likely produce somewhere between 3.5% and 5.5%. That is the net tax-free growth on the policy at the end of the day. Some drawbacks you might hear to this strategy as far as maximizing the cash value and flexibility could be a risk to triggering a modified endowment contract. The term rider cost on the policy could skyrocket over time. Both of these, not true. Really, the drawback is more so to the agent or advisor that the compensation is minimized up front. It is. And this has to do with the policy design. So when we're talking about maximum cash value up front, you'll find that when we design a policy, money can go towards two areas: the premium or the PUA component. The premium does not build cash value initially, whereas the PUA rider does build cash value initially. Over time, they both build cash value. My point here is this gives minimal cash value up front, but maximum compensation up front. This gives maximum cash value up front, but minimum commission. Now the benefit to an agent going all in with this particular strategy, maximizing a cash value life insurance policy for the cash value, because that's what the consumer, that's what you are interested in, if that's what you're looking for with the policy, is the business stays on the books. There is a residual aspect to this business. Renewals keep flowing in. And then also you've got quality business on the books. People are happy with you, word of mouth, business continues to grow, you generate a lot of volume, and you can, how can I put this, sleep at night because you don't have to worry about someone finding a better deal elsewhere. So let's demonstrate this. The whole idea of once a dollar passing through a policy, regardless if I just let it sit and grow or if I pull it out, things keep on moving forward for me. Let's see exactly what that looks like. So we are going to look at a policy here. 35-year-old male paying in $50,000 per year. Policy is maximized for cash value, $50,000 per year. He funds it for 30 years here, so for a long period of time. We often show examples with shorter funding periods as well. By year 5, he's paid in $250,000. He has more than $250,000. Year 2, he's got $90,000. Here's what we're going to look at. Taking a loan. Year 3, he pulls out a $100,000 loan. Now, the whole idea of the banking concept, I'm using this as my financing tool instead of going to a lender or third-party institution to obtain that $100,000. Once a dollar passes through the policy, I continue to receive dividends on my entire bucket of money. So when I take that $100,000 out, the company is going to tell you and I, we're still going to pay dividends on the full $141 as if you never touched it. Your question as a consumer, my question as a consumer was, okay, how do they do that? Like, there's gotta be a catch because insurance companies are good at making money. So keep in mind a couple things. Where they make their money, no matter how well we design a policy, it's the early years of a policy. We've got that negative hit. We can minimize it, but it's a negative hit. And then also, when I take out that $100,000 loan, what's the impact? The cash value is the gauge that determines how much you can borrow. Call it the equity that we can pull against. Cash value drops. Compare that to the example on the left. My death benefit is collateralized dollar for dollar. So I pulled out $100,000. Our death benefit reduced by $100,000. And I love this stuff. $100,000 loan. Here's our loan balance. We paid it back aggressively here. $25,000 per year. Now let's tally up the payments. There's our loan balance coming down. Loan interest, we paid that each year as well. So we paid the $25,000 plus the loan interest expense. So in year one, the first year we repaid the loan, our net out of pocket are those two figures combined, which is about $30,000. So I want to tally up those payments. This right here is the interest that went to the insurance company. So yes, in one way, you could make the argument that you're paying interest on your own money. Now, with that said, the company's continuously paying you dividends on your entire bucket of money. Just like a piece of property, we pay interest to the lender. If our property continues to appreciate at 5% every single year, I continue to receive that on my entire bucket of money. So what you will find here is anytime a policy loan is repaid, you'll see that your cash value and death benefit is fully restored to exactly what it would have been as if I never touched it in the first place. No lost opportunity cost, money keeps on compounding. And also, just to sum this up, as far as taking control of your finances, when we take policy loans, you hear the word loan, typically what comes to mind? Payments, interest, have to pay it back. In reality, we do not. We can elect to pay interest only. We can elect not to repay it over time. That's a different example with just funding for 5 years. Point being, you have control whether or not you decide to pay it back or not. So, know this was a lot of information. If you have any questions, would like to see custom examples or learn how to do this as an agent, feel free to reach out anytime. And as always, I hope this helps. Hey guys, Steve Parisi here. If you enjoyed the content you just saw, please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for future videos. If you'd like more information or to see some custom policies for yourself, feel free to call or email our offices at the contact information below.